think this is a favorable matchup for the Suns. You've seen them play this Timberwolves team 3 times in person, and all 3 times they've dominated. The Timberwolves have never been closer than single digits in any of the second halves. And I mean, Ant has averaged less than 14 points a game, and the average margin of victory is about 15. Like overall, like statistically speaking, from a dominant standpoint, the Suns have dominated this run this year. Now, we all know that when you get to the playoffs, it can be a different story. But I think with this team, this particular Timberwolves team, I think they're going to be very much up against it because the Suns have all the matchups that are going to be favorable against their vaunted #1 defense. And I just think this plays right into the hands of Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, and Bradley Beal.
Well, their big lineup has struggled against the Suns, right? And against every team, you're going to have a favorable matchup where you're going to get a better rhythm against them. And no matter what you do, it seems to be difficult for you. I think in the 3 games this year, that's been the case. But, this is a different animal now. They can game plan better. They know what the Suns have done to them this year, so they're going to be more wound up than normal. So it's a lot of positives, but it's also some potential negatives in that regard. So, the big lineup for them is not a negative for the Suns. They can go small. They can move KD to center, and that forces Gobert to have to guard somebody small. And I think that's going to be an issue for Minnesota in this series. Now, if they get it going inside and we're not making shots, then we got issues because of their size and their ability to, at least win the paint game with their ability to get to the basket. So, yeah, it's going to be a chess match without a doubt.
I mean, it's basically you got to take the recipe that a lot of teams were trying to make the Suns take, which is pack the paint and force them to shoot outside. I think that's really the recipe because the Timberwolves don't – I will say this about the Timberwolves. They don't have a dominant low-post presence that you can consistently go to take advantage of. I think, you really – the inside – the interior scoring is a lot by Ant drives, lob passes to Gobert, and then Cat every now and then will get some positioning down low. But outside of that, there's not really a lot of dominance down low. And so you got to feel good about if you're the Suns in terms of what you can do to this team. I also like the fact that they have held Ant relatively, low. He's been averaging like 26, 27 points a game.
Right.
And he's only scored 14 a game against the Suns because they've been trying to limit his drive opportunities to the basket.
He's due, though. Right, and he's not going to back up. He knows it, and he's going to come out extremely aggressive. I think that's when you can pick up quick fouls on him. So the Suns are going to have to be ready for his aggressiveness to get in rhythm because he knows it's just talked about widely that he struggled against the Suns. So they have to be ready. Look, I said this time and time again. If the Suns match the energy of their opponent and they don't turn it over, they have a chance to win every night. And then that's been the swan song for this team. They're going to outshoot most teams. That's not an issue. It's just they got to take care of the basketball. And the last time they played Minnesota, they not only took care of the ball, they forced them into a ton of turnovers. I think 32 points off their turnovers. If the Suns do that to anybody, I don't care who it is in the NBA, they're going to win.
Who's the one player that you're looking forward to seeing in the playoffs on this Suns team that you're just excited to see what they're going to be able to do?
Again, I think you pick up role players because ultimately they're going to, if you're going to win a series, a role player is going to win one of those games. And, I talk about that and I love that because, from the middle career to the end of my career, I was that guy.
Mm-hmm.
And Grayson Allen, Eric Gordon, I think one of those two are going to have a hell of a game. Like, they're going to have one of them games that just knock you out. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what it's going to have to be because they're going to game plan against Devin. They've done it. They double-teamed him last time, I think, out. Teams are going to double-team him. And so because of that, movement of the ball, and it's going to fall into the hands of those guys, and they got to knock down shots. And I just think those two, the role guys, Bobo, all of them, that's what I'm looking forward to see if they can really step up. Because if they step up, that's the difference in a close game and a blowout.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be the key for the Suns in this series. And I expect one of those guys every game to step up. You got a guy like Nas Reed over there. You know, he might get thrown in the fire. And he's the guy that's not shy. You know, he'll take his shots. He shows energy. So it's just guys like that, man, whether they score 2 points or 10 points, something that they can step on the floor to do, get a steal, block a shot, take a charge, whatever it is, that's going to add up.